Good afternoon. We're at the Middle Church, Lower Ballinderry, and this is the entrance. And I think that this was built for the horse and cart carrying the hearses to stop in under if there was a downpour and the coffin was lifted off. I'm not sure, but I think that might have been the case. You've got the graveyard to the right, and you've got an avenue of trees here. And this church, Middle Church, Lower Ballinderry, was built on the instructions of Bishop Jeremy Taylor and consecrated in 1668. So this church has a long pedigree. And I would imagine that some of the graves in here date from the 1600s. The book here says it sits on an elevated, unspoiled rural site. It remains unaltered in character since it was built almost 350 years ago. There we are, the bell tower, 1668. And the European Heritage Open Day booklet says there is no better example of 17th century worship. And this is a Church of Ireland church, obviously. Just want to. I'm getting called inside by the wife. And this is original from the old Laa Loo church.
Yes.
And George was saying that he thought the timbers of the roof.
The timbers are from old Portmore as well. Yes.
You're going back.
Yes, you're going back a long time.
Up to the 1600s?
16. You're going back to. It was consecrated in 1902. It fell into disrepair and took £2,000 to restore it. So you're going back to 1668.
1668. Are you a member of the congregation?
I am indeed, yes. And we worship here in the summertime, every
summertime?
The summer months.
Right.
And then we have a service, a carol service for Christmas.
The details about the Middle Church here.
Yes.
Measures 72 feet long.
Yeah.
This will all go on YouTube.
Right.
I'm going to put
you
this
see,
on
this
YouTube.
is a new part that was put
Yes.
on. That was the original door out there. And this
It's thought that some of the wood used in its construction was removed from the medieval church at Portmore and reused in the building of the Middle Church. And I have been down at Laa Loo.
Right.
At some point the church seems to have been lengthened westward by 9 feet. The door was originally on the south side of the church but was moved to the west. And I'm looking at this here. This is interesting.
Yes. We can't even read that now.
Wow. That is a plaque. That's not a gravestone.
No, it's not a plaque. It is a plaque, yeah.
So we'd need a bit of some historian to try and work that out.
Yeah.
And these are we think that these are the old pews from the Laa Loo church.
Yes,
and this is one of the original doors to the pews.
Yeah.
My goodness. My goodness.
And look at this here, 1706.
And this, all right.
And that was closed when they lost the keys and so on.
Well, who knows what's in it?
Who knows?
Here, there could be treasure. Oh, dear. What's your first name?
Mona.
Mona. And this is George and Mona who are showing us around.
And first when I came in, I thought they were bedpans.
No, they are not. They are not. These were to collect the collections. This bell of the church was presented in the wing by Wing Commander John Higginson in 1955. Going up to the bell tower here, and health and safety dictates that I go slowly. And this is the original balcony here, and we believe that this roof here was taken from the old medieval church at Laa Loo as well. It's pretty Spartan. There wouldn't have been too much heat knocking about. And this is all open on European Heritage Day, and it's only opened on selective days throughout the year, I think Christmas and Easter. And this is basically how the church would have looked 200 odd years ago. What does it say? The 3-deck oak pepper pot pulpit has the lowest seat for the parish clerk. This seat was known as the Amen Corner. It reminds me of a rock band. Because it was the clerk who led the responses of the congregation. The middle section was used for the conduct of the service, or conduct the service, reading and prayers. The upper section was for the preacher who delivered his sermon from this lofty position. I'm looking at this church Bible here, and I'm wondering what age it would be. Maybe I'll not touch it. The old organ. There's an old keyboard there too. What does it say? The windows are constructed of oak with transforms and circular heads, each having 3 lights except the chancel window, which is 5. The oak communion table sits under the east window in the small red tiled chancel. There are 2 circular windows at the gable end, over which is a simple bell turret. The original 17th century bell was taken down in 1869 at a time when the church was not in use. It was sold in Dublin for £6, 10 shillings and 6pence. It was later recast into a bell for Guildford Church. The present bell was donated by Wing Commander Higginson in 1954. So there you are. That old chair, boy. I wonder how many people sat in that. Fabulous place. The interior has 17th century oak pews with fixed candle holders. The large pew opposite the pulpit is traditionally known as the Lord Conway pew. A funeral hatchment bearing the arms of Bishop Jeremy Taylor is on the wall opposite the pulpit. The word hatchment is a corruption of the word achievement and is meant to honour a person. So this is the Conway pew here, And this is the coat of arms of Bishop Jeremy Taylor. And the original old church was at Laa Loo, just a few miles away from here. And I have been to that old graveyard, which at one time was on an island, but the water has disappeared. Let's see if we can get up into the... There we go. Here's a bit of information about Jeremy Taylor. You can read that for yourself. Famous theologian and bishop of the 17th century, born in Cambridge, 1613. That's going back a while. He was a lecturer in divinity at St Paul's Cathedral, London. And he must have stood here. And I'm standing where he stood. It's not amazing. I'm just looking at the old panelling here. Old Bible sitting in front of the pulpit, and it's Ballinderry Church, 1864 on it. So